Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Autotech Talk Robot stage. Today, we will hear about electrified and autonomous mobility, supply chains down to the last mile delivery, and how technology can help us navigate our lives. My name is Britta Muzyk-Tikovsky, CEO of Capscovil and also editor of Chillipicks. And I'll be your host for this morning. My pleasure. When I was about 10 years old, my dad taught me a very important lesson. Innovation very often is not about reinventing the wheel. It's about using existing components and combining them in a new way. So what he did, he took a used car battery and put it underneath the seat of my tricycle. Then he also took a discarded wiper motor, an old door stopper, put it on the shaft of the wiper motor and attached it to the rear wheel. Then he connected it to the battery underneath the seat. This was the first electric vehicle in the small town in Bavaria that I live in. And it was an important lesson that helped me shape my future career. So during the pandemic, we started a knowledge project on remarkable innovation, emerging trends, and bleeding-edge technology across different industries worldwide, and those innovations that are not found on the big headlines of the news outlets. We use a special type of storytelling to enable unbiased inspiration when you read about it, and the goal is to inspire companies and creative minds like you to develop and accelerate sustainable solutions. As mobility and robotics are among the applications that are shaping our future the most, I'd like to give you a few examples. So if we look at mobility, for example, there's a startup using existing tracks to optimize the supply chain by putting on autonomously driven containers. There's a trend to electric mobility, but the addition to that trend is to include people from minority groups, like those with disabilities. They can also drive with clean vehicles. Another startup who's using existing infrastructure for trains is going to capture CO2 during train rides and powered by the energy of braking during the train rides. Another trend that we see is using the remote-controlled parking that you already see in the automotive industry, also going over to the leisure area. And there's a lot of standardization going on. One startup is taking an Android approach to standardize the operating system for charging stations. If we look at robotics, and we'll hear about companion robotics later today, there's research being done how a computer can assist deafblind people by mimicking the sign language that they use to communicate. Another startup is making autonomous beehives to increase the health of the bees and also to increase the efficiency while harvesting. If we look at medical, there's robotic applications using magnetic-controlled tiny robots to inspect your bronchites to find health issues potentially. Then there's a startup looking at waste management. They have a sensor where they monitor the fullness of the waste, and when the waste bin is full, they call a robot who comes and cleans out the waste. And for research, if you're looking at production lines, for example, you have often shapes that are very complex to grasp, so you could use 3D printing and artificial intelligence for grasping those. If we look at materials, it's very wonderful to see that a lot of people are turning to nature and how to use nature's materials to increase more sustainability. For example, we could add yeast to the fermentation process to generate hydrogen much faster, probably 3 times faster than today. There's research going on to create electrolytes using the chitosan from shrimps. And there's also research going on how to use air moisture to generate electricity and to put that generator into batteries. Another one I find interesting is using honey for computer chips, because as the technology is increasing, we will need more computer chips in future. And there's a lot more food for thought that you can find on the online knowledge base, or if you want to subscribe to the newsletter. Also, how you could use technology like drones and AI to increase biodiversity, or trends to reduce water wastage. So I'd like to ask us all to use technology more for a sustainable future. And as we're covering a lot this morning, I would like to get started with our first talk. And it's about 3D mobility coming to a city near you. As the next generation revolution in human travel is happening now, and urban flight will be practical, safe, and available to all. Let's learn what it takes to unlock a new dimension of city transportation that will change all of our